Hello everyone. In the last lecture we discussed about power factor improvements and its benefits. I'd like to continue this particular topic for the further discussions that we can have. We discussed about the power factor basics, and the power triangle has been explained already, and ways to improve power factor with an example was also explained, and we saw that an improvement can be obtained by installing capacitors of suitable capacity, and also we discussed about the advantages of power factor improvement by capacitor addition to the circuit. So I would like to start with today's discussion by mentioning about the cost benefits of power factor improvement. We can have a reduced maximum demand charges in the bill, as inclusion of capacitors in the circuit can reduce the value of kVAR in the power triangle. If we go back to the power triangle looks like this. So if the kVAR reduces, if kVAR is reduced from this length to a length which is smaller, then the total kVA, which is this hypotenuse of the triangle, also gets reduced. Okay, the hypotenuse of this triangle kVA will be from here to here. So this value will also get reduced to kVA value, and this that leads to improvement in the kVA capacity that can be charged in the bill for the maximum demand. So by reducing the kVAR, we can actually reduce the kVA as well, which can reduce the maximum demand charge in the bill. So that's a cost benefit. There is another cost benefit, that is a reduced distribution losses within the plant in an industry. So if the value of kVA decreases, then the current also decreases along with it, and get that current which is responsible for the distribution loss in terms of I square RT loss, so that gets reduced, and we have a better voltage at motor terminals and improved performance of the motors, because when the current decreases, then the voltage of the motor terminals can be also maintained at a certain level. The total kVA gets reduced, so that also reduces the load on the system, supply system, because of the equipment, and therefore we get a better voltage at motor terminals, and it leads to improvement in the performance of the motors as well. It also helps in eliminating the penalty charges, because the power factor, if it the power factor value, if it gets reduced below a certain level, that leads to penalty. The utility will charge a penalty on the industry or the consumer whose power factor will be maintained at a low value. So that actually can be improved. The value of power factor can be improved by installing the capacitors, as mentioned already in the last lecture, and that leads to disadvantage of eliminating the penalty charges which may be imposed on the user because of maintenance of low power factor, and the power factor becomes higher in value. And then investment on facilities such as transformers, cables, and switchgear is also reduced, because the transformers will then be possible to be of lower kVA value if we can maintain the power factor high, and then correspondingly, since the current gets reduced, therefore the cables and the switch gears used will also be of reduced capacity, lower rating, which can also serve the purpose. So that's how the advantage happens, and we get cost benefit by improving the power factor. There are different types of power factor controllers which are available nowadays. One of them is just shown here as an example. An automatic power factor controller is actually needed in industries where the loads are fluctuating in nature. So installing one constant value of capacitance may not be sufficient. So we may need to install some type of controller along with the capacitors to apply variable capacitive connections to the system in order to reduce the value of inductive reactive power Okay, so inductive reactive power can be compensated by the capacitive reactive power, and in case of the fluctuating loads, we can do that control by using automatic power factor controller. So at loads, the power factor may go to positive side also, causing high voltage at the motor terminals at low loads. Okay, so when the loads are low, that means inductive load is low, and if you use a very high capacity capacitor all the time, then it may lead to the increase in the reactive power in the positive side towards the capacitive side. So if the capacitive reactive power increases, then also there is a problem of high voltage which may be caused at motor terminals, damaging the motors. So therefore, we must not go higher in any of the sides in reactive power. So reactive power due to inductance also should not be higher, or reactive power due to capacitance also should not be higher. So this balance between the inductive and capacitive reactive power can be maintained by installing this automatic power factor controllers. And these are programmable in nature. The automatic power factor controllers are programmable, and banks of capacitors can be switched on and off using relays when we use a controller circuit for automatic power factor control. Okay. Now we take an example of determination of suitable kilovolt ampere reactive kVAR value for power factor improvement. Okay, we take a situation. Example situation is like this. The utility bill shows an average power factor of 0.72 with an average kilowatt of 627. How much kVAR is required to improve the power factor to 0.95? So we have seen that an average kilowatt of 627 is consumed by the industry, and the bill that is obtained shows there is a power factor of 0.72 which is maintained. We want to improve that power factor to 0.95, keeping the consumed power, that is kilowatt active power value, same, because active power is the power that is consumed actually by the equipment like motors or any such equipment which is consuming the load will actually be consuming the active power. So that should not be hampered with. So let's form the power triangle: kilowatt, kVAR, making this kVA in total, and the angle between the kilowatt and kVA is theta, which is also called as a power factor angle. Right? So kVA in relation to kilowatt and power factor, because the kilowatt is given as 627 and the power factor for the utility bill from the utility bill is obtained as 0.72. So therefore kVA value is 870.83. We just find it. Then we can find the kVAR value from this triangle. Already 627 is given and 870.83 we find. This hypotenuse we find by taking simple trigonometry into consideration from this value as well as theta that we have found out. So kVAR therefore will be equal to 870.82 square minus 627 square to the power half. It's actually the root over of this. Okay, so from Pythagoras theorem we can find it. To the power half means root over. That's quite simple. So therefore kVAR is equal to 604.33 kVAR, this side. Right? So keeping the kilowatt same, the power factor of 0.95 can be obtained if the kVAR is such that the ratio between kVAR and kilowatt, which will be actually, if this is theta, perpendicular divided by base is equal to tan theta. So tan theta is equal to kVAR by kilowatt. So tan of theta is to be obtained from the power factor. What is power factor? Power factor is cosine of theta. Cos theta is 0.95. That's our target. We want to make the cos theta 0.95. So for 0.95 power factor or cos theta value, what is the value of theta? Theta is cos inverse of 0.95. So we just write in place of theta here cos inverse of 0.95. That's equal to 6. That's equal to kVAR divided by 627. Kilowatt is already given as 627. We know that's our desired consumed power. We must not change this. So tan of cos inverse of 0.95 is 18.1 degree. So that's equal to kVAR by 627. So from there we can find a kVAR value. So kVAR value is tan 18.1, which is 6.325. 0.325 is this value, multiplied by 627. That's kVAR value. Okay, so kVAR is equal to 203.72. Therefore, that is 0.325 into 627, which is 203.72. To improve the power factor, kVAR required will be, what will be the kVAR required? Because already this kVAR is 604.33. We want to make this kVAR equal to 203.72. So how much of kVAR of capacitor we have to install? The capacitor kVAR, which is going to act against this kVAR, that kVAR value is equal to 604.33 minus 203.72, which is 400.61 kVAR. So if we install some capacitor on this capacity, then the power factor will be automatically improved from 0.72 to 0.95. Okay, so to improve the power factor from 0.72 to 0.95, a capacitor bank of about 400 kVAR will be required. Okay, so this is how we can determine the value of kVAR required to improve power factor in any industry from a certain value to another value. If the power factor values are given and one of the power values are given, that is usually the kilowatt power, the active power has to be kept constant. Even though we change the power factor, the active power consumed by the equipment has to be made constant, has to be kept constant. So therefore, we will compute the rest of the quantities by keeping that kilowatt value constant, and improvement of power factor can be obtained by computing the value of capacitor in kVAR required to be installed to improve the power factor. So that can be determined. Okay, so what should be the location of these capacitors? So maximum benefit of capacitors is derived by locating them as close as possible to the load. So capacitors should be installed near the load as far as possible. So near the load, the kVAR are confined to the smallest possible segment, decreasing the load current. So if we install the capacitors away from the load, then there will be flow of current from the capacitors to the load because of the increase in kVAR towards the positive side, and that will lead to loss in the conductor that will be carrying the current from the capacitors to the load. So if you place the capacitor very close to the load, then there is no difference in path, or not a very the significant length of the line that the current will have to flow through, and then there will be less loss. Okay, so decreasing of load current will reduce power losses to the system substantially. So power loss of the system can be reduced by reducing the load current. So load current has to be kept minimum as much as possible, has to be kept low. So in order to keep that low, we have to keep the installed capacitor close to the load. Okay, if you keep it away from the load, from the capacitor to load, there will be some current flow. Current will be flowing, and that flow will lead to loss. We want to avoid that, and that's why we will locate the capacitors as close as possible towards the load side. Okay, so this lecture, as well as its previous version of power factor improvement, is actually prepared from the guidebook of National Certification Examination for Energy Managers and Auditors by Bureau of Energy Efficiency. The name of the book is Energy Efficiency in Electrical Utilities. Thanks for watching this video. More such topics will be uploaded for your use eventually in this channel. Thank you.